Hello friends, Namaskaram. Myself is Dr. Jinesh Soni. In today's class, we will discuss about section 498 of BNSS. Basically, I am giving you the outline idea about section 498 of BNSS so that you could easily understand the conceptual perspective. The said section deals with the order for disposal of property at the conclusion of trial, to be noted at the conclusion of a trial. The said section outlines the procedure for handling property or documents that were produced as evidence or used in the commission of an offence during a criminal case. Apart from that, we have to study the key aspect of section 498 of BNSS. The prime concern is regarding disposal of property. It says that when an investigation or inquiry or trial concludes, the criminal court or the court of magistrate can make order for disposal of property or document which include destruction, confiscation or delivery of property to a rightful claimant. The said claim can be decided on the basis of possession or otherwise. For this we have to study subclause 1. It says when an investigation, inquiry or trial in any criminal case is concluded, the criminal court or court of magistrate may make such order as think fit for disposal by destruction, by confiscation or delivery to any person claiming to be entitled to possession thereof or otherwise of any property or document produced before it or in its custody regarding which an offence appears to have been committed or which has been used for commission of any offence. Apart from that, the second key point is that the delivery will be with or without any condition. The said protocol is incorporated in subsection 2. It simply says the property can be delivered to the concerned claimant with or without condition if the conditions are imposed. The concerned applicant is required to execute a bond with or without sureties to ensure that the property will be refunded as per the order of the court if required. In that scenario, there might be an order that the property is required to be returned if the concerned court order is later modified or inter alia set aside by the court of appeal or by the court of revision. And subclause number 2 sustains the said protocol. It simply says an order may be made under subsection 1 for delivery of property to any person claiming to be entitled to the possession thereof with or without conditions. If it is with condition, in that scenario he has to execute a bond with or without securities. And apart from that, the satisfaction of the court is sine qua non, but the key point to be noted is that the concerned court cannot impose the arbitrary conditions. And apart from that, there might be a condition to restore such property to the court if the concerned order made under subsection 1 is modified or set aside in appeal or in revision. As far as clause number 3 is concerned, it is basically concerned with court of session. It says that a court of session can direct the property to be delivered to CGM. In that scenario, the concerned CGM will handle the property as per the protocol of section 503, 504 and 505 of BNSS. So basically, the said part is concerned with the process and we are not required to give more emphasis on that part. As far as clause number 4 is concerned, basically it says that except where the property is livestock or subject to speedy and natural decay or where a bond has been executed as per the protocol of subsection 2, an order made under subsection 1 shall not be carried out for 2 months. So basically, if the order is made as per subsection 1, it is not required to be carried out for 2 months, but in the special case, means the property is livestock or subject to natural decay or speedy decay, and apart from that the bond is executed in pursuance of subsection 2. In that scenario, the order is required to be carried out immediately. Otherwise, the concerned applicant has to wait for next 2 months. And apart from that, if appeal is submitted, the concerned applicant has to wait till disposal of the appeal, but the said protocol would not be applicable when the property is livestock or subject to speedy and natural decay or where the bond has been executed as per the protocol of subsection 2. So basically, subsection 4 inter alia provide the exception. Apart from that, there is the protocol of appeal against the order made under Section 498 of B and SS. Section 500 of B and SS provides the process for appeal against the order made under Section 498. In that scenario, the aggrieved person could submit the appeal to the concerned court and could seek the remedy as per law. For this, we have to study Section 500 of B and SS. Subclause 1 says that any person aggrieved by the order made by the court or magistrate under Section 498 of B and SS may appeal to the court, to which appeal in routine courts lie from the conviction by the former court. On such appeal, the appellant court may direct the order to be stayed during the pendency of appeal and may modify, alter, or set aside the order and may make such order as think fit. And subclause number 3 says that the power conferred in subsection 2 may also be exercised by court of confirmation or by court of revision. So in short, we could say that there is a protocol regarding disposal of property on conclusion of trial proceedings, and apart from that, in order to understand Section 498 of B and SS, we will take an example. If a car was seized as evidence in a fraud case, the court might order its return to the concerned owner after conclusion of trial. However, the owner might be required to provide the consent bond guaranteeing the car return if the court decision later on is inter alia set aside or quashed by the court of appeal or by the court of revision. So, I think that I am totally able to cause all of you to understand the importance of Section 498 and Section 500 of B and SS. If you are having any query, feel free to write in the comment box. I will try to answer them as per my capabilities. See you in the next video. Till then, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.